In this video, we are going to look at how to use the TI Nspire CX2 to evaluate inverse trigonometric functions. Right, as always, you always want to start with a new Calculate Scratchpad. And as always with trigonometric functions, you want to make sure you're in the appropriate mode, radian or degree, depending on what the problem's looking for. By default, we will always stick with radian. However, I will then show you the same values in degrees. All right, so let's take a look at the inverse sine of 0.97. So what we want to do is we want to come over here to this trig button. Right, this will list not only the 6 trigonometric functions as was seen in a previous video, but also the 6 inverses. So for our purpose, we want the inverse sine, then of just 0.97 and hit enter. And it gives us about 1.325, so on and so forth. And if we want to evaluate now the inverse cosine of, let's say, negative 0.4, we'll get a radian measure about 1.98. Now, if we want it in degrees instead, recall there are 2 ways to do this. We can either just click this right up here. Now it's in degree, right? Or we can come over to Document, Settings and Status, Document Settings, and right here you see Angle. You just want to make sure that's in the right one, and then you just hit OK. Now let's try and redo these. Now instead of retyping it in, I'm going to show you a shortcut. So if you need to use a previous value or you want to reevaluate something, you just hit the up arrow until it highlights what you want, then hit enter. And you can see it works just like copy and paste. So the enter copied it, coming down here, that pasted it. Right? All right, so now we just hit enter again, and there it is in degrees. So the inverse sine of 0.97 is 1.32 radians, or 75.93 degrees. Right, and of course we can do the same thing for the inverse cosine. That's about 113.58 degrees. And so that concludes this video on how to evaluate inverse trigonometric functions on your TI Nspire CX.